So what are working decentralized applications, and how are they going to affect Cardano? And how is Cardano existing in this category of Ethereum and among others going to affect the branding of Cardano? Well, that's going to be the subject of a big talking point that we're going to explore in this video. Welcome everybody, my name is Faze Crypto, and I think this is going to be a very exciting episode. A lot of different things to talk about, especially in today's market. I think this is a great opportunity to explore a lot of different points. Okay, listen guys, whether you're an XRP guy, whether you're an Ethereum addict, it doesn't really matter. You have to give Cardano some credit. You have to give them a tip of the hat for working to make their project relevant in this day and age. Now, my catchphrase on this channel is pretty much stay relevant. I mean, this is pretty well solidified by now among many great catchphrases that I've shared with you guys over the years that I've been a cryptocurrency YouTuber. Now, when we want to talk about the fact that Cardano has really been making great strides, making, with fintech and this sort of things that are going to be relevant today, things that can actually be leveraged tomorrow and not in a year from now. I think that this is definitely something that's good for Cardano's reputation, and definitely something that is going to be very good to solidify and get under Cardano's belt. That's going to be pretty pivotal when we see these things really getting up and running. Essentially what's happening right now is, for a lot of these different projects, things are at a standstill, and I think that the fact that Cardano has this real good opportunity in front of itself right now that could essentially be coming in handy to a big degree in the future. So this is going to be an exciting video. I'm definitely excited to make this one because it's involving a lot of different critical elements that are, I think, connected at the hip to the future of cryptocurrency. So definitely make sure that you guys watch to the end on this one. And of course, we got a great picture right here of Charles Hoskinson, and launches 2 new smart contract tools for Cardano blockchain, and this is really posits a great opportunity that could ultimately could launch Cardano into the conversations that are happening regarding similar projects like EOS, Ethereum, and this sort of comes to mind and is briefly talked about by this article, the Crypto Briefing. The blockchain Cardano is might soon join Ethereum and EOS as a platform for working decentralized applications, and this is all coming in the recent news, kind of old news right now, but still relatively new. These smart contract tools, definitely some interesting strides forward. Cardano is working along, I think, its path, regardless of what's happening behind the scenes with the overall market. Now, obviously, a nice bull run would get things really cooking with gas, but right now seems like Tether is the only in the top 10 that's in the green at the moment. And in other news, of course, DEX taking the lead with almost a 50% gain right now, which is pretty remarkable to see. And of course, Bitcoin private hasn't actually had too bad of a week, and this is coming aside from all these different tech, and it sort of is funny to me to see the cryptocurrency space, because if a stock was having this kind of volatility, it would be all over the news, but random ass cryptocurrencies just have these crazy days with all this momentum. But it goes to show you that there's really no excuse for getting killed in the market, the cryptocurrency space, in particular with I mean, obviously we all have bad days, and of course on the leaders of the red at the time of making this video, of course Wax, the top 10 IOAT, but this is all coming in the overall context of what we have to take into consideration that's really leading into the current market. And there was a different I think there was a totally different atmosphere this time last year, and it's definitely something to be said. I think that there's a bit of pessimism, and last year it was sort of like unchecked optimism, and it's funny to see how the cryptocurrency culture sort of goes. The media sort of reflects the way that people, I think last year, if you looked at the search results that were related to cryptocurrency, you'd probably see, I remember people were talking about like when Lambo and stuff like that, and sure, people are feeling quite in particular about the way that things are looking. But now in other news, Ripple, XRP, NEM, and Cardano working to create a new European blockchain association. Now this comes in an interesting time when you look at Europe and all these different international affairs. I think blockchain will definitely have its inroads, and this is a pretty cool cryptocurrency sweatshirt. Picked one up for myself, and they're not telling me to embrace this sweatshirt here. I'm just saying I think it's a pretty cool sweatshirt, but yeah, I mean, Cardano, 1 hour scenario for 1208. I mean, obviously the day-to-day is going to be different from the long term. I mean, when it comes to the long term, I'm very confident in seeing where the vision's going to take us. And I think when it comes down to it, when it really boils down to the nitty-gritty, it's interesting to look at the vision behind these projects. And people might criticize Cardano for being overly ambitious, but I think that there's a lot to be gained with I mean, you have to understand that optimism is optimum. And that's the, if you want to optimize, you have to be optimistic. And I think Cardano's, what they aim to do isn't above and beyond the capabilities. I think the computing power is there. I think that the technology is in place. And I think that the smart contracts days are definitely ahead of us. And I think it'll be interesting to see the corporations and the different businesses that are able to benefit from essentially the different decentralized applications that are going to be implemented. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how Cardano plays a role in that. And I think Cardano certainly does stand a chance to give Ethereum a run for their money in the long term. And yeah, I definitely do have a significant amount of optimism when it comes to looking at this space. And in particular, I'd be the $3,000 Bitcoin. I don't think anybody would have thought last year that we'd be looking at the $3,000 Bitcoin. I'm sure that there's plenty of people out there who are credited with making that prediction, but it just goes to show you that nobody could really tell what's going to happen next year. And it seems at this moment the only thing that's climbing is Bitcoin dominance. That was a joke. I saw a bad joke from one of these different articles, but yeah, I mean, it is interesting nonetheless to see the day-to-day with these different things. And I think in the future people will look back at this video archived on my channel and wonder why people were so pessimistic about cryptocurrency. And I think that the people out there who are talking negative, because you'll never catch me being pessimistic even on the worst days of cryptocurrency, because the fact of the matter is that the volatility is there. So there's people who are taking their cryptos to the bank on a regular basis, and it's essentially just about how you play the game. Now, when I want to talk about these different things, you have to understand, this video is just my opinion. Obviously I'm not your dad. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes. It's not advice by any means. It's definitely just interesting to see how these different projects are moving, and it's just as one humble observer to another. It's pretty crazy to see the amount of manipulation that we see in the market and all these different things as they've been existing as the current market sort of tapers on and moves forward. But for any of you who are interested, you could follow us on our Twitter, that's at CryptoTuber. And I think this has been a pretty good episode. I think we covered a lot of good information regarding Cardano. I got to voice a lot of the things, my various different speculations, and I think that it all sort of ties into understanding the mentality that goes into the current predicament and how this sort of the technology's there, but at the end of the day, it just takes a long time to get these things ironed out in terms of regulations, and I think that's certainly going to be a big determining factor as these things move forward. But overall, I would say, a lot of people were asking me what my opinion on Cardano is, and I remain optimistic even as the market cap approaches that $90 billion, 99 billion. We're only 8 billion away, and I could easily see that 8 billion getting wiped off the map overnight. But then again, we could hit a bull run. I mean, you never know. I think 2018, it's pretty safe to say we'll probably just be seeing more of the same. But that's all for now, and I hope you guys comment down below letting us know what you think, and give us future suggestions for other videos. And all that being said, have a good day, everybody.